Hello! This is the Bible in fewer words. We are Carol and Steve Wells. This is episode 93, Judges, chapters 13 and 14. If you enjoy this podcast, please consider supporting us at patreon.com/BFW. Hi, Steve.
Hi, Carol. A new
What
character
are we doing?
we're going to introduce in this episode, one we've never seen before, but everyone's heard about.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder who that could be. Should we start?
Yeah.
Great. Chapter 13, verse 1. The Israelites did evil again in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord delivered them to the Philistines for 40 years.
For 40 years.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
And the Lord hasn't figured out that evil thing and how to deal with people who disobey him.
I guess he's still testing them.
Testing.
I guess.
Yes.
I don't know, but it's still going on. I don't know this. I think this is like one of the last judges that we're going to have arise here.
Okay.
Okay, verse 2. There was a man named Manoah who had a barren wife.
We've never heard of that before.
Yeah, there's a long list of wives in the Bible that are barren.
Uh-huh.
And Manoah's wife was one of them.
Okay. An angel of the Lord came to Manoah's wife and said, what do you think the angel said?
You will conceive and bear a son.
Yep.
Sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. God's pretty handy at closing wombs and opening wombs.
Yeah.
Don't drink any alcohol. Good idea.
Yes, it is.
Or eat any unclean thing. Yeah.
He will be a Nazarite from birth, so don't ever cut his hair. That's a clue as to who we're going to be talking about here.
Yes, but I didn't know that was a thing,
What?
that Nazarites didn't cut their hair.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we covered that back in Numbers.
Oh.
It's a thing.
Oops. He will deliver Israel from the Philistines. Oh, so he's going to be the judge?
Yeah.
Samson?
Well, we haven't given him a name yet.
Oh,
but
sorry.
yes.
Then Manoah went to the angel and said, what's your name?
The angel said, it's a secret.
Manoah offered a young goat as a meat offering, while the angel ascended in the flame while he and his wife fell on their faces.
Yeah. I'm thinking that the angel's name might be Clarence.
Oh, Clarence.
Yeah. Or maybe 99. Agent 99.
Oh, yes.
Maybe.
Clarence, I love that name for that angel in It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah. Well, it's an angel, but he's not going to give his name because it's a secret.
Okay. Manoah said to his wife, we will die because we have seen God.
His wife said to him, if God wanted to kill us, he wouldn't have received our burnt offering or showed and told us all these things.
Smart woman.
Mm-hmm.
And Manoah's wife had a son and named him da-da-da-da-da-da, Samson. God blessed him.
And the Spirit of the Lord moved him at times.
Okay.
So it moved him from one place to another, I guess.
I guess so.
And that's the end of chapter 13. Now we got Samson born.
Uh-huh. That's a big job done.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how much hair he had when he was born.
It doesn't say.
Chapter 14, verse 1. Samson said to his parents,
I have seen a Philistine woman in Timnath. Get her for me as a wife.
it's a pretty demanding son there.
Yeah, it is. Now notice that we just had him born in the last chapter. Now he's already wanting a wife. So I guess he had a childhood and stuff. We don't hear about that.
Yeah. His parents said to him, isn't there a Hebrew woman you could marry? Do you have to marry a Philistine?
Samson said, get her for me because she pleases me well.
And he knows that from experience.
I don't know. That's what the Bible says.
But Samson's parents didn't know that it was all part of God's plan against the Philistines.
Yeah, see, this Philistine woman is part of God's plan against the Philistines.
An infiltrator.
Yeah, because remember, the Philistines were the ones that he sold them to or whatever.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Verse 5. Samson and his parents went to Timnath.
On their way, a young lion roared at Samson.
The Spirit of the Lord came mightily on Samson, and he tore apart the lion like it was a young goat. He didn't tell his parents what he had done. It seems to me that tearing apart a young goat would not be easy either.
No, it wouldn't.
So, verse 7, when Samson arrived at his Philistine's girlfriend's house, she pleased him well.
Yeah.
I guess that means they got married. You think?
No, well, I don't know, because they're going to have kind of a marriage feast and stuff. So
okay.
I don't know. I think maybe this was premarital sex.
All right. So verse 8. Later, when Samson returned to take her as his wife, he saw the carcass of the lion, and there was a swarm of bees and honey in it. Samson ate some of the honey and brought some home to his parents, who ate it. He didn't tell them where he got the honey.
Yeah.
Do we think this is really honey, Steve?
No, it couldn't be. What it actually is, almost certainly, is a hoverfly.
Oh.
Yeah, the common drone fly. And we have them in our yard.
Oh.
They're of European origin, but they're now all over the world. And they do like to breed in corpses, rotting corpses. And I've seen them before on a hike with a dead cow. Mm-hmm. And you'll see all this buzzing that's coming out of it, and kind of this oozing mass of decaying flesh.
So it sounds like it might be a bee.
It looks like a bee.
Oh.
It's a bee mimic. It's very easy to mistake for a bee. They buzz like bees. They look like bees. It'd be easy to think that it was making honey. And it's kind of a gooey mess of rotting flesh. I don't think it would taste like honey, though.
It doesn't sound like it.
And it wouldn't smell good.
Yeah, maybe his standards for honey were low.
But it certainly wasn't bees.
No.
Bees don't make their nests in rotting corpses.
We do have them in our yard, you mentioned, but
yes, we do.
We don't have any dead corpses in our yard.
No,
just to share that with our listeners.
They're not all that picky. They also can nest in like compost and stuff like that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So verse 10. Samson and his father prepared a feast.
30 Philistine men went to the feast. Samson said to them, I'll tell you a riddle. If you can answer it within the 7-day feast, I'll give you 30 sheets and 30 garments.
So Samson's talking to his buddies.
Yeah, well, these are actually probably her friends because they're Philistines.
Oh, yeah.
But they're attending, I guess they're kind of his buddies too, but they're attending this, their marriage feast. And it's a long one, like a 7-day feast.
Mm-hmm. But if you can't answer the riddle, then you'll have to give me 30 sheets and 30 garments.
Yeah, okay.
The Philistines said to Samson, okay, tell us the riddle.
So Samson told him the riddle, saying, out of the eater came meat, and out of the strong came sweetness.
And after 3 days, the Philistines couldn't answer it. Okay, I know the whole background here, and I'm not sure I get that.
Yeah, it's kind of a strange riddle. We kind of know what it is because we know the story. But
so it's his interaction with the lion.
Yeah, strong. The lion was strong, and out of him came sweetness, right?
Uh-huh. And out of the eater came meat. That's the lion again, right?
I don't know about the eater and meat thing, but I get the strong and the sweet.
Okay.
But it would be hard for them to get it right because he didn't even tell anybody about it, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Philistines came to Samson's wife because she's a Philistine, right? So they felt like they had some allegiance with her, and said to her, make your husband tell us the answer to the riddle, or we'll burn your house down.
Yeah.
So that's a threat.
Yeah, definitely a threat, yeah.
So verse 16.
Samson's wife begged Samson to tell her the answer to his riddle. Finally, on the 7th day, he told her, and she told her Philistine friends.
Before the sun set on the 7th day, the Philistines answered Samson's riddle, saying, what is sweeter than honey and stronger than a lion?
Samson said to them, if you hadn't plowed with my heifer, you wouldn't have answered my riddle.
Oh my gosh! So plowed with my heifers, had sex with my wife, or forced
I'm not
her.
sure what it sounds like. I don't know if that's what he meant, or maybe he was kind of just being sarcastic or something. But
But I don't think he's happy about that.
oh, he's not happy.
No.
Mm-mm.
So, verse 19, the Spirit of the Lord came upon Samson, and he killed 30 men, took their clothes, and gave it to the men at the party as a prize for guessing his riddle.
Yeah, the Spirit of the Lord came on Samson. Remember, the Spirit of the Lord came on him a little earlier, and he killed the lion. Now the Spirit of the Lord comes on, and he kills 30 men for their clothes.
Couldn't he just say, hey guys, I need some clothes. Do you have an extra set in your closet?
Well, when the Spirit of the Lord comes on someone in the Bible, usually something gets killed.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. So he just went, killed 30. They were Philistines, right? So they're the enemy.
To him, they're the enemy, yes.
Yeah. So he found 30 Philistine guys, killed them, got their clothes, so he could come back and
pay his debt.
Yeah, because he had that bet with the Philistines at his party. So now he's done that.
Jeepers. Okay. And then the last verse is, then Samson's wife was given to his best man.
Yeah.
So she is not his wife anymore, I guess.
No.
Was his best man a Philistine?
I guess so. I don't know. But whoever it was, he got his wife. I don't understand it. It goes from 19, where he's giving the guys the clothes that he got from the dead people.
Yeah.
And then in verse 20, his wife is given to his best man. But in the next episode, we'll find out a little bit more about this.
Okay. This is very bizarre.
Yeah.
All right. Samson. And was her name Delilah?
No.
Oh, this first wife's not.
This is his first wife, yeah.
Okay.
His first wife was a Philistine and
not named Delilah.
Not named Delilah, and it was kind of a short marriage, right? They got married and they had the 7-day celebration. And then his wife was given to his best man after this celebration, I guess.
Very interesting story. Well, thanks for sharing this story, Steve.
Well, sure.
Okay. Thanks, listeners.
It's not my story. It's right there in the Bible.
Yes. Thanks, listeners, for staying with us. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.